Hello everybody, 'tis I, the Rumpled One. Time Magazine, July 29, 2013. Cover story, After Trayvon. I guess some of you guys don't like Time Magazine or don't like my sharing Time Magazine because you're not watching the videos. But I guess that's okay. Not everybody's going to like everything. As we turn the page, we'll go to the briefing page. I thought we were friends. Mike Enzi, incumbent Republican senator from Wyoming, after learning that Liz Cheney would run for his seat. Well, why can't you still be friends? Yeah, I think I'm going to do a video on definition of friend and enemy. I think it's interesting. $2 million cash found on Miguel Angel Trevino Morales, boss of the Zetas drug cartel, when he was arrested. $2 million in cash? Man. Cars. U.S. sales hit a notable 15.9 million annual units. Okay, let's see who else. Teachers who teach Western education. We will kill them in front of their students and tell the students to henceforth study the Quran. Some leader of the Nigerian Islamic group Boko Haram, whose men killed 46 students on July 6 in an assault on a boarding school. Ridiculous. $1 trillion total federal student debt in the U.S. as of July 17th. $1 trillion in student loans? What's wrong with that picture? I was just talking to my buddy Ralph here when he was up here a couple weeks ago about, how much our college education costs versus how much it costs today. It's just ridiculous. Let's see, 160,000. That's the number of Russian troops involved in Russia's largest military exercise since the fall of the Soviet Union. The war game included 5,000 tanks. Wonder what they're getting ready for. Comrades, cancel your Facebook accounts. You've been working for free as CIA informants. Review the Snowden case. That's what's Iris Varela, Venezuelan minister, in a tweet. And Venezuela has offered asylum to Snowden, the former U.S. security contractor turned leaker. Once again, I think the man's a patriot. Here we go. We believe the U.S. Constitution guarantees our freedom to share more information with the public, yet the government is stopping us. Brad Smith, Microsoft's general counsel, urging more transparency in how it handles customer data requests from security agencies. You see, the government, once again, is just a big gang. Turf wars. Don't let them fool you. In fact, I read a really good, blog post on one of those survival blogs. But I guess I thought it was good only because I agree with what the guy was saying. That's something you have to wonder about. Is that why you think something's good, only because you agree with it? Like in music, I can appreciate somebody that's talented even if I don't like the kind of music they play. But if they've got talent, I can tip my hat to it. Let's see, $84 million record French soccer fee paid by Paris Saint-Germain FC for Nepal's Edison Cavani. Let's see, trending in. Nissan restarts the Datsun brand 30 years after parking it. I wonder why. Doping. U.S. sprinter Tyson Gray and Jamaica's Asafa Powell tested positive for banned substances, reinforcing sprinting's sordid reputation for cheating. Ann Patterson's burden. Obama's envoy to Egypt struggles to influence, not offend. You know what? Who cares if they get offended? Let's just tell them the way it's going to be. We've got the big stick. We need to start using it. Then again, that would just be enforcing our will and beliefs upon somebody else now. So maybe we should just leave them alone. Wouldn't that be better? Say, you leave us alone, we'll leave you alone, and let's all get along. Okay, what else do we have here worth talking about? End of chemo. Smarter cancer drugs with fewer side effects could make the drip history. I'm sure that's a good thing. Okay, Corey Monteith, the boy next door, he died. He was 31. He was the, I guess he was on the show Glee. Amar G. Bose, the audio innovator, Bose speakers, he died. Okay, let's see. The John Deere Classic won by Jordan Spieth. The 19-year-old phenom became the first teenager to earn a PGA victory since Ralph Goodall in 1931. Okay, who else? Philip Caldwell, 93, he died. First CEO of the Ford Motor Company who was not a member of the Ford family. Died. Chuck Foley, 82, co-creator of the popular party game Twister. The original name was Pretzel. Sold tens of millions of copies since 1965. Okay, approved the first brainwave test for ADHD, designed for use with youth age 6 to 17. It could help diagnose the condition more accurately. I don't believe it's a condition in the first place. I just think, you know, the schools, the teachers, they don't want to deal with all the different kids. And I know back when I was in I was 6 years old. I was in first grade. And they yanked me out of the class, and they had some psychologist. They gave me all these tests. I don't know if I set a record or what, but I did them so fast that they said, well, yeah, this kid's just a little bit, you know, he's kind of off the charts in that way. Because I used to like those puzzles. I mean, when I was like 3 and 4 year old, my parents and relatives gave me all those little puzzles. Not the Rubik's Cube, but all these other ones where you slide stuff back and forth. I was just good at that kind of stuff. Let's see. Stopping the slaughter. All Americans must come together to end an epidemic of deadly urban violence. Now this was written by Michael Nutter, who is the mayor of Philadelphia. And there's this one quote in here I want to share with you because it just goes to the heart of the problem. Let's see. We know clearly that there are a few things that work. Investing more in Head Start programs, summer jobs, and programs for teens and community development block grants for cities to put people to work. Those 3 areas have been cut significantly over the past few years. The U.S. seems to be more invested in nation building in other countries around the world, Iraq and Afghanistan in particular, than in nation building or rebuilding here at home. You see, that's it. We cut our own programs and we go help somebody else. You know, we need to clean up our own backyard and our front yard and our side yards before we go across the fence to a neighbor's. You know, it's one thing if the neighbor's house is on fire or something like that. Yeah, you go and help them in an emergency. But, you know, on just day-to-day basis, hey, buddy, you're on your own. I got to clean up my own yard. I can't be cutting your trees when I got to cut my own. So that's part of it. But the only other thing is some of these programs that they say work, you see, this is a government official looking at it from the government perspective. And in a way, sometimes they work, but sometimes they don't. These programs are rife with fraud, corruption, graft, you name it. You know, many times the money doesn't really go to the right people. It goes in some fat cat's pocket. It's not right. It needs to be cleaned up. So you see, we have the resources, but we're taking them outside the country. And the resources we do put in the country, they're not being used efficiently or effectively most of the time. And that's the real problem. Okay, moving on. Trayvon's death is an outrage, but thanks to immigration, stronger laws, and years of hard work, our poisonous biracial era is ending. So it says the U.S. is becoming a majority-minority nation. So let's see. In 2012, according to the Census Bureau, 49.9% of children under the age of 5 were non-white. More. 3 pages selling drugs. Unbelievable. After Trayvon. The trial has ended, but the repercussions of a Florida's teen's death have only just begun. You see, once again, this is one of those divide and conquer issues. This has nothing to do with making things better for anybody. I mean, really, is there anything to be learned here? Is there anything to be done? Not really. We've got more pressing issues. I mean, sure, it's a sad thing. You know, I feel for his parents. It's horrible to lose their child like that. But I mean, every day there's, I don't know how many, is it 50 murders or something? People losing their loved ones over senseless violence. I mean, it starts at home and then it's at the neighborhood. But, you know, thinking gun control or more laws is the answer, no. Less laws is the answer. We need less laws. A lot less. We need to go back, hit the reset button, pretty much start over. We got too much. You see, if people would take care of themselves, if most people were packing, stuff like this wouldn't happen. Because people would think twice. They know if they pull a gun, a bunch of other people are going to pull a gun too. Now, you think that might be crazy talk, but it's been proven. Places where they have gun control, crime goes up. Places where they don't, crime goes down. Don't believe me? Look up what happened in Australia, and you'll see the point. You don't want that here. But they just keep wanting to stir that racial BS. You know, bring out Jesse Jackson, bring out Al Sharpton, bring out Farrakhan, put them in the headlines and on the news, and you get everybody whipped into a frenzy. For what? Over what? It's just totally ridiculous. I mean, and the thing is, I think there's enough people that have realized that it is BS that they don't fall for it anymore. Okay, moving on. A pope for the poor. I don't really care. I mean, no disrespect, but the power of the bilingual brain. It's interesting. They say up to age 1, we retain a sharp ear for languages. So I guess they're saying teach kids young. So I started learning Spanish in the 1st grade. I believe I had 3 years of it before I changed schools. It's actually getting pretty good. Then I had 2 years in high school. Okay, moving on here. Pop chart. Let's see, Mariah Carey. The diva didn't let a hurt shoulder keep her from appearing at a MLB charity concert. Booze Free Bar. A new London club called Redemption is hoping crowds will turn out for a clean and sober rooftop diet offering vegetarian food and mocktails. Pass. I don't drink, but I'm a meat eater. Okay, let's see. Justin Bieber, I guess, dissed Bill Clinton and then he apologized. Why should he have to apologize? Because he dissed the former president, who we all know what he did. I did not have sex with that woman. Lying bastard. And I'm not apologizing. Okay, three things you don't have to worry about this week. Whether the pop arts are appreciated. In France, Bono received the Commander of the Order of Arts and Letters Award. In the U.S., George Lucas scored the National Medal of Arts. You know what? I don't like Bono. Don't like his music, and there's just something about the guy I don't like. I mean, I just can't put my finger on it, but something about him bugs me. Maybe it's because he's wearing sunglasses all the time. What's he hiding? Just bugs me. Okay, number 2, the end of irony. Kanye West co-designed a 120 item of clothing. It sold out right away. It was a plain white t-shirt. Unbelievable. $120 for a t-shirt? I get mine for free at the thrift store. Or when they hand them out when I sign up for a credit card or something. The Da Vinci Code being cracked. Tom Hanks is signed on to star in the next movie based on Dan Brown's books. What you do need to worry about this week, the Illuminati. Let's see. The Queen stands alone. Kate Blanchett plays a Woody Allen woman and wins. Not that interested. Bad Medicine. Putting Jenny McCarthy on The View is media malpractice. The author thinks that she shouldn't be on The View. I guess because she was against getting kids vaccinated. That's her opinion. But I guess because she's on TV, there's a lot of people that believe what they watch. They don't research for themselves. So they think it's a bad idea. I don't. I think she's funny. She seems pretty cool. Let's see. A hole in half. Golf is cutting the course by 9 to attract more players. I'm not a golfer. I'd much rather go bowling. I roll the ball, it comes back, rather than hit the ball and go chase it. That's like a dog fetch. Nah. Stick a cork in me, I'm done. How I fared on the Master Sommelier test. I'm not really into wine. Not really into it. My night in the fast lane. Have you spent your whole life wanting to drive a cab? There's an app for that. This is funny. When I was down in San Fran last month, walking the streets playing tourists, I noticed there's some cars that had this big pink like mustache thing on the front. I didn't know what it was. I thought maybe it was something for the gays. I mean, I'm in San Fran, right? What am I supposed to think? You know, no offense, and if you're offended, oh well. But I guess it's this taxi thing. You can drive a taxi, so you put this pink mustache on your car, and there's an app, and then you go pick people up, and they make a donation, and then you get to keep part of the donation. Pretty cool. But guess what? Of course the taxi cabs want to stop to this. In fact, they have been stopped in some cities, which once again is, it's turf wars, it's gangs. See, the taxi cabs company, they want to hold all the power. It's turf. It's like in New York, to drive a cab, it costs somewhere between, was it $700,000 to $1 million. And I'm not making this up. You can research it. You have to have a medallion. So, it's basically a mob thing. And mob, not meaning mafia, but mob as in gang. Has it a bunch of people, you know, say with guns and power saying, no, this is our turf, you know, you want to play, you got to pay. It's that simple. Okay, 10 questions. Snowboard and skateboard champion Shaun White on managing fear, taste testing gum. On managing fear, taste testing gum, and what he did to his hair. Now, I'll read one question. When you're sitting above a half pipe, about to attempt a double McTwist 1260 with just this flimsy board on your feet, what are you thinking? At that point, you're not really thinking, you're just letting it happen. It's a mixture of being completely focused and slightly not caring. The only comfort you have is that you can't stop time. So you're just sitting there like, okay, I'm going to be forced to do this. It's a horrible feeling, but then you kind of crave it afterward. So in other words, you just go for it. So Time Magazine, July 29th, 2013.